Welcome to Cunty Life and Biz Realness, the uncensored show that explores how to live your truest life, what tries to get in the way, and how to grow your business as a result. I know you want to be more courageous, unapologetic, notable, transcendent, and authentically you, and you're in the right place, babe. I'm your host who's the most, Naomi, CEO and head life and biz authenticity coach at Cunty Coaching. Let's dive in. Hi, beautiful. Welcome back to the Cunty Realness Podcast. And you know me, I love to acknowledge some wins and celebrate whatever the fuck we can, because what is the point of life if not to celebrate ourselves and all of the incredible work that we are here doing and the way we are out here doing the most and doing the damn things. So with that being said, I want to celebrate 3 months of the Cunty Realness Podcast. Yay, this has been such a labor of love, something that I've been wanting to do and launch and put out into the world for so long. And it's here and it's beautiful and it's evolving. And I've had 3 incredible guests on here so far. I've had incredible solo episodes. I've gotten the most loving, supportive feedback. It has just been so incredibly gratifying. Words cannot describe how grateful I am that you're here, that you're listening, that this is impactful and enjoyable for you, a way that you enjoy spending some of your time being here with me as we talk about the realness, right? The realness of entrepreneurship, life as an entrepreneur, mindset struggles of entrepreneurs, like all of those things, and the systems that we are doing this work within and trying to dismantle. It is a lot. And so just having this safe space where I'm not censored, I'm not being policed, we can just be here together and share in this wild ride together. So thank you so much for being here. I celebrated by taking last week off to just pour into myself, let myself relax, unwind, not have anything to do, anything pressing. Everything could just wait. My family and I, we are moving. It's not a big cross-ocean move, so don't worry. It is a up-leveling. It is a change of place. So there is some preparing that needs to happen with that, and a lot of mindset work as well with this move and this change. So I'm really happy that I gave myself last week to just chill and, order some furniture and let myself dream, let myself pack, and not be obsessing about all of my to-do list items. So that felt really good. And this weekend, I have been in Algarve, in the Algarve region in Portugal, in the south. And the reason why I'm here is I booked a tasting with the private chef that I am going to hire for CUNTY Retreat, Portugal 2024, that is happening in June. Words can't describe how excited I am. Even though it is still months away, I have 5 incredible humans who already have their tickets bought. And so I have been working on the beginning stages of the planning process. So I booked the villa a few months ago, and then I traveled a little bit. I had a lot of things going on. I had my certifications that I'm also wrapping up. By the end of this year, I should be done both my Bear Life Coach training and my Hello 7 Business and Mindset Coach certification as well. So that's been really exciting. And So it did take me out a little bit of that initial excitement that I had when I booked the retreat venue. So this is the realness, is that my excitement level was at max when I found the retreat venue, the villa, the private villa, and my beautiful 5 clients booked their ticket. That was a high in my life and in my business. And after that, I came down to earth really quickly when I decided to register my business in Portugal because I live here for all intents and purposes. I am living here, right? I was born in Canada, but now I live here. So I had to register my business to be able to start collecting payments for the retreat. And that process was a buzzkill, to say the least, okay? It's not my forte, and navigating all of this bureaucracy in a language that I speak the language, but not that kind of, legal and accounting and business jargon in Portuguese is not my forte. And just learning all the rules and all of the things that I needed to know and do and sort out as a business owner in Portugal, it really threw me off. And that really knocked me energetically out of that space, out of that high frequency that I had when I booked the villa. Now, I want to preface this by telling you what we're going to be talking about today so that we can ground in that intention and make this rooted in that rather than just telling you stories, which is great. But I want you to know that this episode specifically is about the cunty decision to believe in and bet on yourself. And the reason why I'm saying that right now is because I was knocked off my energy for this huge event. It got scary for me, the fact that I had committed to this event that is a very high ticket event and very high expense event. I am really going, you know, as far as I can possibly go for my clients because I just want this to be absolutely an incredible and transformational experience for them and for myself, but mostly just for my clients who are coming all the way to Portugal. And I got knocked off my game. I got knocked out of my energy and I started to get filled with some doubts and some fears. And I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I think what happens is if we get knocked out of our energy, we feel shame about that because we're taught that we're supposed to be high energy, high manifestation vibes all the time. And so if we fall off of that, or if we go low for a time, or we're affected by something, we get a sense of self doubt or being a little bit hard on ourselves. Now, not everybody, but I think this is true for a lot of us, especially us high achievers. When we feel like we're not reaching that potential, we get frustrated. I know this is true for me. I've been frustrated that I haven't been able to access that same level of high energy that I had when I launched this retreat. So, we are talking about believing in and betting on ourselves. So, the first thing that I want you to know about believing in and betting on yourself is to get clues and get insights into who the fuck you are. It is so helpful when we know who the fuck we are. Like, what is your human design? What are your strengths? Take some tests to help you understand yourself better. Because as you believe in and bet on yourself and grow your business, it's really, really imperative to do it in a way that is in full integrity with yourself. Because no matter how excited you are about something, if it's not in integrity with yourself, it's going to be way harder to be fully behind it and fully invested in it and fully in it. So for me, I know that I am an includer. I love gathering people. I love being with people. I'm an extrovert. I love coaching. I love luxury. I love surrounding myself with inspiration. And energy is so important to me. So, by creating this experience, it is really, really tapping into my strengths, into my passions, and into my excitement. So that's really important for you in anything that you do. Know yourself first. The next thing is to pay attention to and take in the signs that arise. So for me, when I had decided to go for it, I mean, even before I decided to go for it, like I literally moved to Portugal with the gut knowing that I was going to be hosting people here one day. Like that was the intention. I really wanted to host people here, to welcome people here and to host and to have people here as my business. So, but I had shoved it down when we moved here and the search for a property because we were going to buy a property, when that didn't work, I really gave up on it for a while, that idea, right? And I decided instead to invest in myself and in my self growth and in my business in a way that would help me grow my business without a property, right? So for me, that was, I decided to go further and deeper into coaching and take certifications and go to events where I could connect with high frequency individuals and people that would love me for who I am. You all know who you are. You're listening right now. That's what I decided to do instead. So I totally like forgot about that dream and that desire of hosting people here. And then I was in a mastermind with my friend Maddie, her mastermind, and she asked us about our hopes and dreams. And I started with something totally random. I was like, oh, I love this connecting with community and this cultivation of community and of these relationships. It's just so empowering and impactful for me in my life and in my growth and my business. And then somehow she led me to pull out of nowhere, seemingly nowhere, this dream that I had to host people again and to maybe have a retreat. And then we pulled at that thread, and I didn't ignore that sign. Just like I didn't ignore the pull when I decided to move to Portugal, that moment where I was here on vacation and I felt like I needed to be here permanently, I didn't ignore that gut punch. And so when Maddie pulled this out of me out of seemingly nowhere, I didn't ignore that either. I immediately, with her help and her accountability, I took it to a greater community of entrepreneurs. I went to the Facebook group, the We Should All Be Millionaires Facebook group that I'm a part of. I took it to the other folks in the mastermind, you know? So that's another step. But pay attention to and take in those signs that arise. The next step in believing in and betting on yourself is to trust your gut. And this took me time to understand what that actually is, because a lot of times we feel, or me at least, I don't know if you feel this, but I grapple with anxiety and depression, and I feel anxiety in my belly a lot of times. So for me, it's always been hard to distinguish like what is a gut feeling and what is anxiety. And there's other feelings that have been conflicting with that too. So it has taken me time to understand like, okay, what is my gut feeling? Is it that fear feeling? Is it that terrified feeling? But what I think it is is it's the very first feeling that you get with an idea. For me, it's like the first feeling I get when something is right is like, hell fucking yes. And I get excited. I get sweaty. My heart starts to pump and I almost get emotional. I get emotional, right? I do get emotional. That's the gut feeling right there. And then fear and anxiety and trepidation and doubts and all those other things, those typically come after. And that's what I've been finding with this process of launching and creating this retreat, this luxury high ticket retreat, is the first feeling was hell fucking yes. Because I had already been speaking to other entrepreneurs who had told me how much they wanted to come to Portugal. Boom, that was a sign, right? There was so many signs before that. And then when the idea finally bloomed, that was the gut feeling of hell yes. And then fears came after, and we'll talk about that. So when those fears arise, take note of them. Don't just shove them off. Don't just high vibe yourself out of the fears. We need to know what the fears are. We need to acknowledge them. When we acknowledge them, then we can release them, right? Because they're there for a reason. They're there to protect us and they deserve to be heard at the very least, right? So we can hear ourselves, we can hear our fears, acknowledge them, and then we can either write them down, journal them out, but then release them. Relegate them to the back seat and not to the driving seat, okay? The next step is to ground yourself in your why. What is your why with this scary thing that you are excited about, that you have fears coming up about, that requires you to believe in yourself and bet on yourself? Like, what is your why? Because it is not an easy process. The whole concept of betting is that there is risk, there is some uncertainty. So when you bet on yourself, why? What is it going to give you more of? What is it going to do for your family, your community, the world, right? Your clients? For me, the hell yes for booking a luxury villa for my clients was very intentional. It wasn't just because I like fancy things. It was because us feminist entrepreneurs from historically excluded backgrounds, we don't luxuriate ourselves enough. We don't know how fucking worthy we are of the most beautiful things in life. We often don't even have a concept of what that is because a lot of us have come from disadvantaged upbringings. We are really making our own wealth and our own success, and we need to immerse ourselves in luxury, to remind ourselves and to show ourselves literally what is possible for us when we believe in ourselves, when we bet on ourselves, when we do this soul, heart-led work. So that was so powerful. That was such an important piece of why I decided to book a $20,000 venue, right? It was a scary fucking decision, but I knew that that's what needed to happen. That's what my clients deserve. You deserve to be in spaces that make you feel expensive and valued and luxuriated and taken care of. You deserve that. And I want to give that to you. I want to provide that for you so that you can level the fuck up and expand and step further and further and further into the beautiful being that you are becoming. The next step is to journal it out, talk it out, envision it, claim it. this is a place where belief really comes hard. Because if you don't believe in yourself and in this vision, the next steps are going to be really much harder. So at this step, you've done a lot already to get here, and I need you to just stop and really process it. Process it and envision it and make it your reality. Like, put yourself there. Imagine yourself there and steep yourself in the feeling of it happening and being, a reality. Claim it for yourself and get there in your mind and see the vision and see why it's so powerful and so worth selling and telling people about and shouting from the rooftops and doing all the things to talk about it. You really need to process it and put yourself there. After that, then you can take it to your trusted squad, right? So, of course, you can involve your trusted squad at any and all steps of this process. But if you haven't yet, then that's the first place. After you've been there yourself, I want you to take it to your trusted squad and I want you to share the vision and the dream and the thing that you are trying to believe and bet on for yourself. Bring that to your squad. And this can't be just anybody. This has to be people that you trust, that have your highest wellness and well-being and success in mind and in the forefront, and that you can trust them with your dreams and your goals and your visions, which unfortunately is not everybody. So this is where you pull in the people that are your biggest fans, your biggest cheerleaders, and that they believe in you and they support you no matter what. And get them excited for you. Get them on board, because accountability is a superpower. It's so, so, so powerful to keep you moving towards this goal when it might otherwise get hard, or when your energy gets swept off, or you get, like bombarded with trying to register your business like I did. Your trusted squad can really help keep you accountable to what you're creating and that vision that you share with them, right? Because they won't be in the day-to-day, in the nitty-gritty of it. So they can help you hold the vision and bring you back to it when you need a reminder of how fucking awesome you are. And they believe in you, right? So you need to bring it to them and surround yourself with that energy. Next, you can take it to your community, your friends, your clients, and this is where you get buy-in and support. In my case, I launched a market research survey that had me asking people what they wanted out of a retreat, if they wanted a retreat. I asked them questions about what they wanted so that I could get an idea. And so I do recommend that you do that and be in that excitement and get that initial pulse check of your community. See what they say. If they're excited about it, get the pulse. Ask questions. Your community is there to receive from you and to be served by you. It's not just a fishing sport where you're trying to lure them in all the time. You are serving them. You are creating something that is going to lift them the fuck up. And you are being lifted the fuck up by doing this and by believing in and betting on yourself. You are making a powerful shift for yourself in whatever endeavor it is that you need to believe yourself in and bet on yourself for. Like, that is a super, super powerful thing for you. So get that buy-in and that support. And then take the leap. Ask for the sale. Ask for the support. Ask for what you need, but commit to it. At this point, you've done so much already to believe in yourself, to take chances, to put yourself out there. You've put your intentions out there. You've shared your vision. You have done so much. And now it's time to go for it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and feel motivated and excited to take inspired action today. But this is just the beginning. Tune in next week for part 2. You don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. Thank you so much for listening to Cunty Life and Biz Realness today. Someone in your circle needs to hear this. Can you share it and leave a review on Apple Podcasts so this Cunty movement can grow? And don't forget to tag me on Instagram at Naomi_authentically. I appreciate you so much and cannot wait to connect with you. You can always head over to cuntycoaching.com to work with me, join my events, my Cunty email chronicles, and more. I hope you have a fulfilling week, and I can't wait to talk to you next week. This is your Cunty coach, Naomi, signing off.